Yo, yo, yo. It says I'm live. Yo, shut up. I gotta check the things. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it says we're live. I think y'all should be able to hear me. Forgive me if I yell at the dogs. I'll try not to. And forgive me if you can hear the dogs barking. And forgive me if a random kitten happens to show up on screen because that might happen. Yo, this is my guy Icy Mike. He's new to the crew. Uh, watch this. Hey, Bo, shut the fuck up. Look, I tried to cover the mic, but then I didn't. Um, yeah, my name is Jesse Sponberg. I'm live from Flashtown. Hopefully, you're watching this on urbansurvivorman.com, but you could be watching it on Facebook right now, or you might not because Facebook really jams up my reach. So I want people to get used to watching this show on the website. Mike, I'm gonna need to ask you one more time. Don't touch none of my shit. Alright? Mike's got a big problem. He thinks he's the keyboard guy, so he thinks there's little mice that live in the computer. So we're gonna try to show him that there's not. Um, this is the Tuesday show, which is different than the Friday show. So the Friday show is, of course, Coffee and Bong Hits. You might have heard of it. And on that show, I strive for journalistic perfection, right? When I tell you guys something, I stand by it, and I really stand by it. But the nighttime show, Strange Game on a Volcano, this show, I can't necessarily put my journalistic stamp on all of it because a lot of it is wild, right? And I, my job with this show is to just show you what I see, right? It's not for me to educate or like the Friday show. It's really important that y'all believe me. The Tuesday night show, this show, the volcano show, Strange Game on a Volcano. You don't have to. I don't even know what to believe. I just need to show you guys what I see so that if I lose my mind, y'all can lose your mind and we can simultaneously lose our minds together, right? So for those who don't know, you might be getting this just off of the Coffee and Buckets feed, right? Because this show doesn't have its own home. This is like bonus content. I live in the super jungle of Hawaii. Like when I say super jungle, that doesn't mean there isn't a grocery store about 20 minutes away, or a gas station like 5 miles away. But when I say I live in the jungle, it just means that I'm really off grid. Um, I steal my electricity from the sun for the most part. On a cloudy day, I might run the generator. Uh, I steal my water from my showers and my toilet, and take care of my animals from the sky. I catch it off the roof. So it's it was a mission to be able to do a show out here in the jungle, with all the difficulties and all the obstacles that I had to overcome. Not to mention going to Kansas City first of all and learning how to even do shit like this. Um, but now I can. Oh look, I don't even got the right brand up. Look, I still got the coffee and bonnets. Look, I gotta switch the brand. Look, boom, there we go. Oh yeah, shush. Hey, look, I gotta show you guys a couple things though. Um, this is crazy because whoa, yeah, that's some crazy shit. Um, You know, the term conspiracy theory came from the motherfucking New York Times. And if there's one thing you should know about me, I don't fuck with the New York Times. I don't fuck with the Willamette Week. I don't fuck with the New York Times. And I don't fuck with any corporate news, right? Because we all understand that corporate media is just a tool of the government, right? Um, They just lied to you. I mean, they straight up fucking just lied to you while Momo is just looking in your house. And man, I don't got my glasses on, so I don't even know what. Yeah. This is propaganda. This is what they give you. So look, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open it up. Should we go TikTok or should we go Twitter? TikTok or Twitter? TikTok. Let's go Twitter first. Then we'll go TikTok. But there's a couple of things going on, and I'm gonna just preface it. One is that it seems like a lot of people are dying from what seems to be the vaccine. I'm just gonna say it. I've been tap dancing around this um, for about a month now. I was gonna make sure I addressed it on Coffee and Bong Hits, but I forgot. I just completely spaced it on Friday. But I feel like if I don't talk about it now, I don't I don't want to make it seem like I was suppressing the information because the information has come to me that a lot of people are dying. And the common thread that nobody wants to talk about is that these people are vaccinated. And so we're going to talk today as we go through the Twitter and we go through the TikTok. There's going to be a lot of talk about that, man. A lot of talk about people dying suddenly um, from like heart conditions. And then another theme that's going to show up today is that the president of the United States is a traitor and a crook and maybe a human trafficker and probably on some inappropriate man, I got to be careful because I don't want to I still rely on a couple platforms, right? My life is easier when I broadcast to the thing. But look, so basically what it boils down to is that everything that the government and the media has been accusing Donald Trump of doing, Joe Biden actually does, right? Joe Biden's actually doing. And the latest one is remember when they told you that Trump possibly had nuclear secrets, and so the FBI raided his house, right? Raided Mar-a-Lago, and they really didn't find shit. And now since they didn't find shit, they think that the Department of Justice is going to maybe investigate him for obstruction of their investigation that was fruitless, didn't find shit. But the media had people like Rob Reiner's stupid ass thinking and telling everybody that today's the day, like every single day for like 7 years or some shit now. These people have been telling you every day that Donald Trump's about to go to fucking prison. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is really actually doing this shit. Joe Biden is involved in some of the deepest levels of international espionage, money laundering, embezzlement. And they just announced, they didn't just find him, they just announced that Joe Biden was sitting on fucking classified documents he wasn't supposed to have. Exactly what they told you the other guy was doing. So here's the before I dig into this, you're gonna see one theme um not only reveal itself but support itself and reinforce itself. And that theme is that the mainstream media, which consists of a small conglomeration, a small group a small cabal of entities run all of it. All of it. Bro, I'm talking from Ellen to The View to People Magazine to all the news shows to the ones you wouldn't even think of, right? That way they can control how people think that other people think, right? And that's why censorship on social media was so important. And that's why Elon Musk buying Twitter is so important. And that's why the media has the whole world shitting on Twitter because they know it's all unraveling now. Right? We see the communications, we see that the FBI, the White House, the media, and social media has all worked to completely fucking lie to us about everything. About everything. As long as I can remember. From George Washington's wooden teeth to the size of Africa to when they fucking told me that Greenland was icy and Iceland was green. Like, it's all bullshit. Columbus discovering America, right? Now, when you look at these fundamental things and you apply that same basic remembering, right? You apply that same lesson that you learned from each one of those things, apply that to your everyday considerations about the news that they give you, right? All right, look. Let's just dig in. I guess the best way to to do some shit is just to rip the band-aid off. Or just go to my fucking TikTok. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready.
The experiments continue to this day, and critics are warning that this project could have global effects that will destroy our planet. In 1993, the FAA started warning pilots to stay away.
I look. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily want to jump into harp right away, but that's the kind of show it's going to be tonight. Look. The thing about TikTok is it's not censored by the U.S. government, right? It's censored by the Chinese government. And one theme that we always refer to on the Friday show, one theme is that they're all bad guys, yes, right? And you're like, Jesse, how could you trust some of them are bad guys? They're all fucking bad guys. But look, sometimes bad guys have competing interests, and you can use that knowledge that sometimes bad guys shit on each other, right? Does that make sense? Like, for example, Rand Paul, piece of shit. But if it wasn't for Rand Paul's diligent questioning of Dr. Fauci, we wouldn't have been able to pin him down on how much fucking shit that little fucking goober has lied about. Or are you saying kickbacks for the motherfucking drug companies that are immune for prosecution? Look, I'm sorry that I recommended to anybody that they should take the vaccine because I really didn't think that they were going to use it for depopulation. Let's just get back into the TikTok. But I'm not going to start with harp. I'll find something scary. I'm going to look for some dead people. Hold on, let's see.
I'm one of the heroes. Yeah. Can we talk
I remember that guy.
2000, the year 2000, Mr. Putin is not elected, although elected, to the presidency. And one of the first things he does is to ask for Russia to become a member of NATO.
Yo, we're going to get into this later.
Located in the far northwestern section of Canada is the aptly named Northwest Territories.
No.
There's been a lot of speculation on the internet on a second Trump term. In this video, I'll cover a few theories.
All eyes on America now. and it feels like all the pieces are now slotting in place. The Speaker of the House has been a big educational lesson for the American people and the rest of the world. We didn't really know the importance of this position. We didn't know before that anyone could take that position, didn't have to be in Parliament. We also saw how it's voted in. We also saw the MAGA Republicans that stood on their truth, and they didn't just cave in because of the pressure and the majority of the other people. The world's watching, and it shows the representatives of Congress are more important than the Speaker. And also to know how corrupt it really was, because all of those votes, they must have voted in Nancy Pelosi every single time. Corruption at its core. So people are now starting to get the education lesson, because these positions are going to be important in a new world, and we need to know how they run. All eyes are on Kevin McCarthy now as well, and people didn't know who he was before. Now though that House has got control, the investigations start. So mainstream media are panicking. And also now you can see what investigations are going to start unfolding. Remember, all these investigations, all the audits, all the Hunter Biden laptop, all the crimes against humanity, all the corruption in Ukraine, all the election frauds, they've already been done. So expect things to start happening a lot quicker now, because it's all done to the word of law. Enjoy it, people. Now it's time to just pay attention to what's going on, knowing that we have won this war already. This now is an educational process for us to help us transition into the new world, and also to know that we are never going to let people corrupt our freedoms ever again.
What should we expect in terms of keeping the Chinese Communist Party at bay, in terms of keeping the Biden family accountable?
Look, so what that do is referring to, a lot of y'all might not know, but even though everybody after the election was like, ha ha ha, Republicans, what happened to the red wave? There was no red wave, there was no red wave. Like, all you saw was people repeating the same fucking thing. There was no red wave, there was no red wave. But guess what? The Republicans did get control of the House. And the Democrats tried really hard fucking to keep it. But yo, look, I vote Democrat every time. I've never ever in my life voted Republican. I voted for Jill Stein though, instead of Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, right? Because I can't with good conscience vote for either one of those guys. But I did vote for Joe Biden, and I encourage other people to vote for Joe Biden, right? And now I have buyer's remorse, like extreme buyer's remorse. And I got vaccinated, right? I got vaccinated as soon as they would let me get vaccinated, because I considered it my civic duty. But I have buyer's remorse. And to be very honest, I got caught up in many of the brainwashes, right? I let my guard down and let CNN in my house like that. I let them subtly influence the way that I perceive the world, right? And then when you factor that in with the censorship of competing ideas and competing information that was happening on social media, and the blanket misinformation, disinformation, and misdirection and projection by everybody in a position of power, everybody in a position of authority, everybody in a position of slight intellectual superiority over other people, right? Like, it became the badge of honor that you got vaccinated because it made you intellectually superior to somebody else, right? Don't look so smart now, really. And like, people that voted for Joe Biden um, were led to believe they were intellectually superior, right? I'm gonna tell you something. I drove across country before the election. There's fucking zero chance that Joe Biden won a fair fucking election in this country. The evidence that the election was stolen is huge. But you won't hear from none of the media because it's all the cabal. All of it. All of it. Meanwhile, that Hunter Biden shit, that's real as fuck. Joe Biden being under congressional investigation right now for sex trafficking, that's real as fuck. People dying right now, real as fuck. And I fell for it all. The only thing I didn't fall for, thank fucking God, is I didn't support Ukraine. Even though I don't like Russia, by the time Ukraine came around, I was able to smell the brainwash that I couldn't smell when I was on the mainland, right? Because I'm so bombarded with those messages, right? Not to say I've freed myself up from those messages by creating distance, but by changing my lifestyle and my media consumption habits, right? Spending more time with my hands in the dirt and communicating with the animals and less time on social media arguing with people that are probably robots. And I don't mean fake profiles. I mean in real life. Yo, don't let me forget at some point tonight to talk about the incubator babies and to talk about the goddamn planet that keeps showing up on my Facebook and on the FAA weather camps. Yeah, this shit that is going on right now is fucking nuts. Okay, so let's finish this clip real quick right here. I'm gonna get my face out of the way. This is a Fox News clip, and here's another way that y'all are here's another way that y'all are brainwashed, thinking that your version of corporate media consumption is in any way any different than Fox News, right? That's another fake badge of honor that fucking pseudo intellectuals wear because they're just a little bit smarter than people that got it right. And look, even if the people that got vaccinated are like on an intellectual like on an intelligence test, maybe we would test higher, but the sun even shines on a dog's ass sometimes, right? And we were wrong about this one. Social distancing didn't fucking work. Closing everybody's fucking businesses and keeping Walmart open didn't fucking work. Those masks, those masks, they don't work. They don't work. None of that shit. I smoked joints through all those things. But we lived a lie. We lived a collective lie, right? Where somehow, if you agreed with CNN, if you agree with motherfucking Chris Cuomo, if you agree with Don Lemon, and if you disagreed with Hannity, if you disagreed with Geraldo, that somehow you were intellectually superior, right? If you voted for that motherfucker traitor Joe Biden because you thought that he was less of a traitor than that traitor Donald Trump, don't get me wrong, they're both fucking traitors. Hillary's a traitor. Nancy Pelosi's a traitor. All those motherfuckers are traitors. All of them. Don Lemon's a motherfucking traitor. Look. What are they going to tell you about Alex Jones? Alex Jones thinks they're going to turn the frogs gay. Yo, look, what Alex Jones told us, what Alex Jones told us was probably some of the most important journalism that's ever been fucking done in the history of journalism. That fool Alex Jones wore the pager camera and showed us Bohemian Grove. Yo, before Bohemian Grove, everybody had plausible deniability, right? Once, once you get caught sacrificing a child to Baal, Once you get fucking caught worshiping some Baphomet shit, once you get caught running around doing crazy shit with crazy people that are world leaders, once that got blown up, once that monkey got out the cage, it was over for the elite. Really. And I know you guys will say Alex Jones is this, Alex Jones is that, motherfucker, you all always say somebody's always something. Somebody's always fucking something, right? It's weird because these people that are always something are always the ones that are pushing a narrative that is counter to the mainstream media. Bros, Rudy Giuliani was right. Rudy Giuliani was right. Rudy Giuliani was like, motherfucker, I got the bombshell. He's just too old and dumb and senile to have dropped that fucking meteorite. Yo, Joe Biden is on some evil emperor shit. But, man, do you know what? Look. Remember, I said the nighttime show, you got to take everything I tell you with a grain of salt. And I'll preface it this way. A lot of people say there's a lot of information and there's very little denial to the stories that I'll share with you guys, right? Now, do I put my journalistic integrity on the line with it? No, I don't, right? But I might stop in the middle of explaining something to you guys and put my juice on the line, pull out my resume real quick, show y'all show y'all how more often than not I could be counted on. Look, let's just finish this TikTok clip because I'm telling you, it's a cabal, an evil cabal. Let's see. Look, I'm telling you, remember what I said a minute ago. Don't trick yourself into thinking that CNN is some kind of more accurate than Fox News, because CNN's been telling y'all motherfuckers for like 5,000 days that Donald Trump was going to jail, and MSNBC has been telling y'all that same shit, right? And those same fucking stations were telling you that that laptop from the president's kid that's got him on it with underage girls, and it looks like his niece. And oh my God, did you know the president's son, Bo, right? My son, Bo, who died, right, Bo? Do you know Hunter Biden was fucking Bo's wife after Bo died? Doing all those drugs, fucking Bo's wife. These are really the people that they told you the fucking Trumps were. These are some disgusting fucking people. Do you know what it says? In the president's daughter's diary, it says that she used to fucking wait till late at night to take showers because her dad would insist on taking showers with her. It's in the fucking diary. We can go look it up. If one person says I don't believe you, the people from Project Veritas got it. The FBI went crazy. Fucking, but the people at Project Veritas, they showed it all over the place. Lots of people have seen it. Then the FBI came and fucking busted the people that originally stole it from the sex addiction clinic that she was at. Y'all, it goes deep. It goes deep. And all this shit, I put on I'll tell you that all shit really happened. Let's see what this TikTok continues to say.
Accountable for the tens of millions of dollars we now know because of evidence on the Biden laptop that they took in from our biggest, most threatening adversary.
Well, listen, the speaker has been very clear about what's going to happen. He's been clear for quite some time. We're going to have a select committee just to investigate China and all the things that the CCP is doing to not only influence here in the United States, but also to take jobs away from Americans over the years. We're going to get to the bottom of that. Number two, I've been talking with Jim Jordan and James Comer. The investigations, not just into the FBI, the Department of Justice, obviously people are seeing with the Twitter files and all that stuff, but also with what the Biden family has been doing for the last several years and its implications on the Biden domestic and international agenda. We're going to get all to the bottom of that. But one of the other things that was included in this rules package is a church committee that actually will go through the process of investigating the weaponization of the federal government. It was released in these Twitter files that one of the White House staffers actually sent messages to Twitter requesting that accounts be taken down. This is the type of stuff that must be investigated. We have to get to the bottom of it, because if we're going to have a country of, by, and for the people, the federal government cannot be used.
Yo, look. And I know you're like, dude, did you just play a Fox News clip? Look, I told you, the sun even shines on the dog's ass. And one bad guy is going to sell out another bad guy because he didn't get a cut. I'm going to tell you a story real quick, a true story. One time, me and Four Ways, we used to buy illegal cell phones, right? We used to buy cell phones that were they were purchased with a fake name and fake credentials, right? And it would take the phone company 3 months before they would shut them off, right? So these people with these fake identities will go and just buy all these cell phones, as many cell phones as they could on all these plans, right? Activate all these family plans, have all these plans. They'd be good for 3 months. So me and Four Ways, we're players. We're capitalizing on this shit as some middleman's getting phones out to all these people, and we're giving money to these two dudes. But one of the two dudes was keeping all the money and not giving the other dude his cut. Now the dude that was keeping all the money also took money from somebody else to kill me. Right? There's no easy way to just to say that. It would be a long, complicated story. Just trust me. All right. So the day that the dude was set to kill me, he had set me up. I was supposed to go meet him at this fucking dirty ass motel. And at the last minute, this was in 1995, and I know because we were pregnant with little Jess. I went to Scotts Mills instead with my baby's mama, and we enjoyed some time, right? She's like, why do you always gotta that? So I canceled the move to the motel room. But the dude that was getting screwed on the money deal, he called Four Ways and was like, Four Ways, they about to kill your guy. And Four Ways tries to call me, but I'm in Scotts Mills on a 1995 prepaid phone package style shit. So it doesn't go through. So Four Ways calls my goddamn mom and is like, yo, they're gonna kill Jess. Actually, he would have been like, they're gonna kill Zonaroni. And so I found out, and I'm here today to tell you that fucking story. It was crossed my heart. I hope to die. That should really happen. Always know that one bad guy will sell another bad guy out for what he perceives to be a slight. That's the nature of non-virtuous people. That's the nature of bad guys. That's the nature of unscrupulous characters, right? The tricksters. Speaking of Four Ways, never forget the lessons that he left us with, man. Never forget the lessons about the tricksters and the people that try to steer you off your path. Because I don't need validation from crazy videos on the internet to explain to my people that we're on a course that is fucking so desperate and so sad and so worse than it was like during the Middle Ages when they chased down Prince John and made him sign the Magna Carta when King Richard was fighting in the Crusades. We have worse conditions right now than a classic peasant, a real fucking peasant. They have more time off. They have better working hours and probably better conditions. Look, everything we have right now is poisonous. Our air is poison. Our water is poison. Our food is fucking poison. What we put into our brains is poison. What we put into our ears is poison. What we have developed as a value system is poisonous and toxic, and leads to nothing good. Right? I was thinking about my friends that still live in Portland, Oregon, and how they're not in jail, but they are in jail because, like, trust me, Uncle Sam doesn't need to put you behind bars if he can just put you inside bars, right? If he knows where you are, if he knows where you're spending your money, where your debit card is getting spent at the bar, that motherfucker doesn't need you. You're voluntarily controlling yourself, right? And I don't just mean, it doesn't just mean my people that drink too much, my people that just sit on the couch every night. Yo, that's what the man wants. He wants docile, obedient citizens that ain't gonna rock the boat, that aren't gonna ask for anything special, that aren't gonna have any expectations of ever being better in life, right? I mean, the American dream right now is to get hit by a car or by somebody that has insurance, right? So some full coverage. Get hit by the car, get a settlement. But at the same time, Nancy Pelosi fucking made a shitload of fucking money being a congressperson. All these congress people are making a shitload of money, and they're all fake. Motherfucker, the squad, AOC, all those people, fucking Bernie Sanders, they're all of them. You ever seen one of those motherfuckers flip over a fucking table? Now, maybe it's because the tables at Congress are really heavy, like the tables at City Hall in Portland, Oregon, because I tried to flip over the table. And, okay, hold on. I don't want to mislead anybody. I considered flipping over the table. I considered flipping over the table, but I gave it a little tester. it was way too fucking heavy. But um, but look, none of these fuckers care about you guys. None of them. Do you know that Ted Wheeler in Portland right now is, look, first of all, I just read a couple hours ago, Tina Kotek is asking for $130 million to house 12,000 people. $130 million to house 12,000 people. I think that's 100,000 per person, but this isn't a math show. I don't do math shows. Never forget that about me. We don't do math shows. Fight Church wasn't a math show. None of them are math shows. We just guess. $130 million. You know what Ted Wheeler is doing? He's building District 9s. He's building mega shelters. And he's going to force people to live in them. Do you know in New York City, they're going to start involuntarily incarcerating people into institutions that they deem unable to care for themselves, which is, I mean, if you can't care for yourself and you can't make that decision, that's cool in the sense that there is an authority out there or an infrastructure of social services and safety nets that can help you. But the problem is that everybody's corrupt and everything works against us. And so it won't be used benevolently. It'll be used nefariously for sure, for certain. Right? I'd never lie to you guys. Look, all of it. All of it. Look, fucking COVID happened. How much money did they give you guys? Joe Biden still owes us $600. They don't even think we're worth $200. While they made all the small businesses close, they gave all the business to Walmart. Man, they told us to put our goddamn groceries on the porch for 2 days. They made all the small businesses go out of business, including a shitload of minority-owned businesses, so that they could funnel all that money into large scale into corporate, right? Shareholders, corporate, because you know what happens? These politicians get donations from these corporations because the corporations want to continue being able to manipulate the systems. So the people that are responsible for building the systems, the ones who are elected to represent the best interests of us, the constituency, the people, the peasants. Okay, so here's the thing. You have to keep asking yourself, to what end? To what end? Why do they do something? To what end? To get money. Why? To buy more shit? To buy this? To buy that? Hold that thought. Now consider, why do they vote against clean water? Why do they vote against clean air? Why do they allow so much pollution on a planet that hypothetically they have to live on too, right? It would stand to reason that the people that we elect to make these choices for us and to negotiate the terms under which we have to exist, it would stand to reason that they're human beings with the same needs that the rest of us have, right? But we're not. Instead, more babies are being born with what's deemed birth defects. More people are being diagnosed with diseases and cancers. But now here's the new shit. And we went to 1042, I guess, before we talked about it. Yo, people are dying right now, not from COVID, but people are dying from a vaccine that might not even fucking work. If the vaccine worked, then why is the catchphrase that everybody says these days, oh, I'm on my fourth fucking booster, I'm on my fifth booster, sixth booster, just caught COVID. Thank God it wasn't worse. Thank God it was on my boosters. What? What? Now remember, I don't play teams. That's the big problem with society these days, is everybody thinks everything's a fucking football game. And even if your quarterback threw 5 interceptions, he's still the best. And Tom Brady fucking sucks, right? This isn't, I don't live in that world. I don't. I don't live in a my guys are always right, your guys are always wrong world. Because like I keep saying, the sun shines on a dog's ass. A broken clock is right twice a day, and sometimes bad guys reveal other bad guys' shit. So I'm gonna tell you this: I used to think Dr. Fauci was kind of cool. I used to give the benefit of the doubt that no way could the pharmaceutical companies, while my friends were reminding me how evil they were, I was like, no way could they pull over a fast one with the eyes of the entire world watching, until I realized that the eyes of the world that were watching were being censored. Social media was censoring them. Both Facebook and Twitter were censoring them. Even TikTok was censoring some motherfuckers. The media was censoring them. People were saying that Joe Rogan should be thrown in fucking prison. People were saying that Joe Rogan should have his FCC license taken away for presenting opinions that ended up being right the whole time. Why did the government tell us we couldn't take hydrochloroquine or ivermectin when now we find out that both of them were highly effective and would have fucking saved lives? Why did they fucking make our grandparents fucking die alone? Now, what did you learn from that? Are you just continuing to get vaccinated, continuing to watch Chris Cuomo, continuing to, no, I know Chris Cuomo's off the air, even though I haven't watched CNN since he got fired. Not because of that. Hey, Kat, I need you to get out my face for a little bit. Hold on, actually, you want to meet my man Fresh West? Fresh West, sorry, but this is my man Fresh West, just cooling in a place to be. Yo, and now people are dropping fucking dead. They're dropping dead. Look, I'm gonna bang back on the TikTok. We're gonna see. Watch. Oh shit, y'all want some UFO videos first? Oh shit. I'm always down for a good UFO video.
Scientists have finally figured out how Roman concrete was made. The Pantheon, which is still intact 2,000 years after it was built, still holds the record for the world's largest dome of unreinforced concrete. It struck me very early on that Roman concrete was just...
I look, no disrespect to this dude right here. No disrespect at all. He's about to explain to us how a Roman concrete is still maintained, right? It was a chemical process. Hey, cat, don't be touching my shit. Hold on.
Do you happen to hear about the UFO that was shot down over Russia January 3rd? Let me show you. Over the multiple articles I found over the internet, every one of them say that what they destroyed was a mysterious ball-shaped object near the Sea of Azov, which is apparently the Rostov Oblast area located in the federal subject of Russia, which was actually confirmed by the regional governor of Oblast. What strikes me as odd is the fact that Ryan Graves, a Navy pilot for the U.S. Navy, also went on Joe Rogan claiming to have seen the same exact thing.
Because we were seeing these so much. And he described it, he described it just as a black or dark gray cube.
Yo, check it out. I'm gonna pause that real quick. There's UFOs over. There's so many fucking UFOs right now. Yo, there's even crazy shit right here over me. I'm 15 minutes or 15 miles from a quite spectacular erupted volcano, right? Yo, peep the cats though. Peep my player cats. They're just chilling. That's Wes. That's Mike. Yeah, somebody left them at the dump. So I was like, oh, they can fucking they can live here with me. Don't live at the dump, little homies. Okay, so there's a lot of UFOs over Ukraine right now because we really are on the verge of nuclear war. They're not going to tell you this on the news. If you consume corporate media, they're not going to tell you this, but here's the truth. Russia believes that the United States is the great Satan. Many, many, many countries, many people around the world believe that the United States is the great Satan. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. We're a fucking nasty group of Pilau. We're some Pilau people, man. So this is big. So to like the United States, this is just another proxy war. We fight these all the time. To Russia, this is to them, this is huge. So they're crushing Ukraine. Yeah, no big deal. They can easily defeat Ukraine. But the thing is, the United States continues to send them billions of dollars in weapons. Eventually, people Stop mopping the floor and shut off the faucet, right? They fixed the leaky pipes. You can't just mop a floor forever. Eventually, you have to go to the source and you have to shut off the fucking the pipes, the water. Russia has so many weapon capabilities to really, really cause a lot of problems in the United States. A lot. They could, besides nuking us, they can create fucking tsunamis. They could have dirty bombs. They could shoot down our satellites. They could, our borders are wide open. They could just walk in with a bomb in a suitcase, right? They could just get one of these smugglers to take them across. That's another thing. Joe Biden is about to they're going to try to find articles of impeachment for dereliction of duty for his mishandling of the border. Like, holy shit, what's going on at the border? And look, there's a lot of people on the internet saying that on the border, they're just trafficking humans to be eaten by the reptiles. Okay, look, this guy's a Navy pilot telling you he saw the UFOs.
I guess we should start it with Russia. When Russia invaded Ukraine, you were not surprised.
Not even a little. No.
You expected this, and you felt like this is inevitable, and this is just something that was always going to happen, and it's not going to just stop at Ukraine.
No, not even remotely. The Russian space is among the worst farmland in the world, and so they've never been able to generate enough income to have a road network. Everything has to be moved by rail. And their frontiers are just huge and they're open. And if you've got a force that can't maneuver itself, your only reasonable defense strategy is to be forward positioned and use geography to help you out. So you expand until you reach mountains or oceans or deserts, and then you anchor on either side of those and plug the access points. Unfortunately for Ukraine, there are 2 of those access points on the other side of Ukraine. So the Russians were always going to try to push through and retake that territory that they had controlled for most of the last 350 years. Unfortunately for them, in the 35 years since the Soviet system collapsed, the Ukrainians have developed an identity. And now they would like to be something other than a road bump.
So one of the narratives that was going around was that the reason why Russia was pushing into Ukraine is because NATO was moving their arms closer to the border of Russia.
There is something to be said for that. You just have to put it into context to really understand it. So the Russian point of view is for us to be secure, we need to expand until we reach a point where invaders cannot overwhelm us. We have to be able to plug those access points. But to give the Russians what they want, you have to sign over the future of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Finland, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Slovakia, Romania, Belarus, Ukraine. Oh,
I can't. I always try to give equal time to people that disagree, but I'll just
set up a
leave it at
foundation
that.
in Ukraine before Ukraine became independent of Russia. And the foundation has been functioning ever since. There is one person who was very deeply involved in Ukraine, and that's Biden. He had a lot more patience than I had in trying to convert Poroshenko into a democratic leader.
But the opportunity to generate a united Ukraine, getting it right, is within your grasp. And we want to be your partner, your friend in the project. We want to, and we're ready to assist.
We're also asking Congress to act promptly to deliver on an aid package, including a $1 billion loan guarantee that can help smooth the path for reform inside of Ukraine and give the Prime Minister and his government the capacity to do what they need to do as they
set up a foundation in Ukraine before
Dirty motherfuckers.
Here's a sampling of just what's in this common sense package. First, every single member of this body will have at least 72 hours to review each bill. Second, members will now be forced to vote in person rather than via proxy. Personally, I have never voted proxy, and for me it's pretty simple. If you collect a paycheck, you should show up. After nearly 3 years of abusing this historic voting change, we are finally putting an end to proxy voting. If my husband, as a first responder, along with thousands of other first responders across this country, showed up every single shift at the height of COVID without complaint, members of Congress should be able to do the same. Now, on November 29th, I testified before the Rules Committee that single-issue bills are one of the single most important things we can do to restore trust in this institution. I am proud to report that this package includes this new requirement, and that is that all members certify their bills introduced in the House address a single issue. A huge thanks goes to my friend and colleague.
Yo, that shit's all pretty major. That shit's all pretty major, you know. As much as the corporate media wants you to think that Democrats are good guys and Republicans are bad guys, they're all bad guys. But the Democrat bad guys have been running wild for a long fucking time, doing some crazy shit while just trying nonstop to get Trump impeached, but doing dirty ass shit. And now the American public voted in a Republican House, and now shit's gonna get crazy. But a lot of this is good shit, man. A single issue bill, that's what we've needed for fucking ever. Because they make these giant omnibus bills that have all kinds of things in them, and they sneak in all kinds of bullshit that the people don't even know about because it's mislabeled, it's misleading, it's misdirection, purposeful as fucking usual. Okay, I don't know who this lady is, honestly. I'm gonna let her keep talking though.
Colleague from Virginia, Representative Morgan Griffith, for his work on this issue. Additionally, this rules package establishes a brand new select committee that will be tasked to investigate the weaponization of the federal government. No longer will the DOJ be allowed to target parents who show up for their kids. No longer will the FBI be able to collude with social media companies to censor Americans. Finally, in the ultimate move to drain the swamp, and one that I am particularly proud of, this rules package, it reinstates the Holman Rule, which allows members of this body to offer amendments to appropriations bills to reduce the salary or to fire certain employees or cut federal programs. These unelected bureaucrats, the true, real swamp creatures here in D.C., have run roughshod over the American people without consequence, and today marks our first, but certainly not our last, move to hold them accountable.
Damn.
2 years ago, during the NBA bubble, all these players would put in, Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe, Breonna Taylor.
The NBA was encouraging that.
Yes, exactly. So I just put free to bet with non-slave labor shoes. So I put the shoes on, I went out there, I started warming up, and all my teammates looking at my shoes like, these are weird looking shoes. A minute before the game, two gentlemen came from the Celtics. They were working for NBA. They said, please take those shoes for us. You're going to get us in trouble. And I was very confused. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, your shoes have been getting so much attention internationally. It was from China, obviously. You had to take those off. So it was a perfect moment because I was just getting ready for my citizenship test. So I was like, okay. At that moment, I closed my eyes. I was like, okay, there are 27 amendments. My first amendment, freedom of speech. I'm like, no, I'm not taking them off because it's literally freedom of speech. So that half, I played 0 minutes. At the halftime, I went back to my locker room. I had thousands of notifications on my phone. I clicked on the one that my manager sent me. He said, every Celtics game is banned in Chinese television. It literally took them 24 minutes to ban every Celtics game. So I played 0 minutes in that game, which I played every game before that. So after the game, right, I got a phone call from the Player Association, which I pay thousands of dollars every year, every month to protect my rights against the NBA. They said, listen, we are, NBA is putting a lot of pressure on us. You cannot wear those shoes ever again. The last 10 years, I talk about Turkey. I did not get one phone call. I talk about China. One day, one night, I was getting phone call, me and my manager, every hour. So they were putting so much pressure on me and my manager. I was like, okay, you know what? Promise. I'm not going to wear free Tibet shoes ever again. Next game, I wore free Uyghur shoes.
The Uyghurs is the Muslim group
Yes.
that's being oppressed
Exactly.
most in China.
So they told me, you're a liar. We can never trust you again. I was like, I did not lie. Here's my conversation with you guys. So after the second game, I got another phone call from a guy named Daryl Morey, general manager of Houston Rockets, tweet something about Hong Kong and became a huge mess for the NBA. NBA lost millions of dollars.
He just tweeted, stand with Hong Kong at a time when Hong Kong was being oppressed.
So he called me and he said, listen, they made me took my tweet down. They made me apologize. You don't take those tweets down. You don't back down. You don't apologize. Keep doing what you're doing. And because someone had to expose this hypocrisy. 2 years ago, during the NBA bubble, all these players would put in, Black Lives Matter, I Can't Breathe, Breonna Taylor.
120 people. They're the ones hashing out the plans. But Daniel Estulin says it's a lot more complicated than that. The inner circle of the Bilderbergs has been around for centuries.
At one, he believed the media was covering up those attacks. But Warner's writings grow even more bizarre. At one point, he writes to his friend about reptilians and lizard people that he believed control Earth and had tweaked human DNA. Warner wrote, they put a switch into the human brain so they could walk among us and appear.
Look, I'm gonna keep going until I find the until I find the dead people. Look, now we'll go to the people I'm actually following. Oh, look, it's Larissa.
In the Bible, the book of Genesis talks about how giants roamed the earth in the early days of the world's creation. Giants were also mentioned and depicted in our modern history, like when Abraham Lincoln did a speech over Niagara. In the Bible, the book of Genesis talks.
Hey, look, I'm going to tell you something else. I am pretty positive that I'm convinced that there was giants. I'm also pretty convinced that those giant things that look like cut off trees that they try to say are stone, I'm pretty convinced that those are giant trees. I'm pretty convinced that dinosaurs are actually dragons and that all of carbon dating is a fucking scam too. Let me tell you, everything's a fucking scam. Man, I'm almost certain motherfuckers did not land on the moon either. And check it out. The way I come to these conclusions is I look at how the evidence is presented. I look at how the rebuttal is uniform. I look at how the people that have this information that they're trying to share are mocked, right? And it's happened forever. And the example that I always give myself is from the movie Lost City of Z, when the guy is trying to convince the dudes with the powdered wigs that there's advanced civilizations in the Americas, right? Like in Central and South America. And they're like, absolutely not. You're a fool. Ha ha ha. Laughed at him. And that's the way it is for anybody that tries to break the establishment. What? The rich hat structure. Yo, we could do it right now. The rich ass structure. I'll look at them later tonight just in case. But look, I think they lied to us about like everything, man. I'm talking everything. Everything. And to come up with an example, I mean everything. Look, they lied to us about UFOs first of all. So throw the old idea that nobody could keep that big of a secret, right? They fucking lied to us about fucking COVID. They lied to us about I'm gonna be careful right now. I'm gonna be careful right now. But they've lied to us about the origins of who we are, right? And then you're like, to what end? And really, it seems like the lying to us about the origins of who we are is to protect the biblical narrative, right? Because that is where the idea that the earth is only like 6,000 years old comes from. Other than that, we could be having these conversations, but traditionally, anything that is run contradictory to the controlling message of the fucking Bible has been squashed, right? Okay, well then, so if we go through that narrative, I mean, I guess we're all intelligent people that have thought about this enough times. So, to what end? To what end? To what end? The greed of a regular human can only go so far, right? Are these people trying to afford tickets on the spaceship to evacuate this planet? Are they aliens? Like, are they reptiles that are controlling us? Or like, are they demons? Are they under demonic influence? Because like I said before, why aren't they concerned about clean water or clean air or a sustainable planet? They say we're about to reach the carbon tipping point, but honestly, man-made climate change, pretty positive that's a fucking lie too. Like, that's what I mean. Like, everything. And only when you're willing to completely unpack everything can you begin to understand. Like, everything is a fucking lie. Everything. So then when these flat earth motherfuckers come around with all this crazy information, or when the Tartarian people come around with all this crazy information, or when the Planet X people come around with all this crazy information, I just lean back and I just watch. And I watch how it unfolds. And I see the same patterns of people that aren't possibly smart enough to be having these conversations are the ones that do the legwork and serve as the mouthpiece for whatever the institutional lie is, right? Man, I need
Why would
to.
believers need to suffer tribulation, persecutions, and fiery trials? Does the
This is
Lord
my guy.
suffer his
Watch
bride to
this.
be bloodied? Why? Well, in John chapter 15, Jesus said that he is the vine and we are the branches. And then he said that every branch that doesn't bear fruit is cut off, withered, and burned. But every branch that does bear fruit is purged. But why would you purge a branch that's already bearing fruit? So that it can bring forth more fruit. But does this have any basis in reality? Absolutely it does. Any kind of fruit-bearing plant has to be pruned. And if you prune it, the yield increases. Yeah, but how much do you have to cut off of the fruit-bearing branch? About a third. About a third has to go. That's the dross, the impurities, the chaff, so that you...
Juvenile dumb.
So y'all remember Logan Smith, right? The guy who predicted...
You saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago. What did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
I think this is what we call sweet karmic justice. It was just back in September when President Biden went on 60 Minutes blasting President Donald Trump for leaving these documents laying around
which is absolutely false framing. They weren't just laying around. They were in the Mar-a-Lago compound, which is guarded by Secret Service. When all along, President Joe Biden, back when he was vice president, took some classified documents and they were being held in a place that is not guarded by Secret Service. So the same things that he was blasting Trump for, he's actually responsible for. Where he was blasting Trump, that's actually not true. They weren't just laying around like anyone could just walk in and pick them up. And the karmic justice gets even sweeter. Think about all of the people that went online, went on television, wrote op-eds talking about how this action of finding classified information at Mar-a-Lago should disqualify Trump from holding office, when President Biden quite literally is doing the same thing. I wonder if their tone's going to change. Now, the last piece isn't so sweet. It doesn't make me laugh. It actually makes me very angry. The Department of Justice knew about these classified documents being found unsecured, a clear violation of the law that they are claiming that President Donald Trump violated, on November 2nd, just days before the 2022 midterm election. And so they did exactly what they did in 2020 when it came to the Hunter Biden laptop. Just further proof, if you already didn't understand, how corrupt the deep state is.
So y'all remember Logan Smith, right?
Juvenile dumbass.
She spotted it and she recorded it, and I edited it so you can see it very better. So here is the video.
Oh my God, this is like a look. What the freak is this? Oh, damn, look what I got. Oh my God, they trying to hide it. Look. Yes, you see it? Oh my God.
It's a circle.
So y'all see this? It's literally chemtrail over this. Okay, I know y'all see that. Like, look, watch the edge of the lightning. Like, it's lightning, but they is trying to hide something. It's a freaking big planet. I'm scared. Okay, it's too much light.
Man, that gives me an opportunity to tell you guys that Planet X is also Planet X is also on its fucking way. Man, so look, a lot of people have been photographing other planets in the sky. It was about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago that I first showed you guys that Facebook group called Planet X for Real. And in that group, they have FAA cameras, right? The weather cameras. Look, Planet X for Real. I'm gonna go there right now. They have the weather cameras, and they keep picking up these fucking planets. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the right. Show this tab instead. Look, not that guy, not that guy. This guy. Look, boom. Boom, this fucking planet right here. You see him. This guy right there. That planet right there shows up. I know. You're thinking, oh, that's a lens flare, or that's refraction, or that's a water droplet. Nope. That shit is visible on multiple cameras, multiple days, rotating. Hey, look, it's crazy, man. Look, there's so many pictures. There's hundreds of pictures from all over the fucking world. All over the world. I'm mad as shit that I don't see them in Hawaii. But look, they're everywhere. What's this one say? Um, Look, there's the planet again. You see it? I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not smart enough, but they say they see it, man. People see it. There's groups. So let's go back to that TikTok video and see. They were saying that you could see a planet in the lightning.
Just a few days ago, we had a blood moon, but we also had the blue Kachina right there next beside the blood moon. Ain't that interesting? That all of a sudden we seen this planet way bigger than the sun, right above our house. I told you. You think this is a lie?
Yeah. You see it, right? You see it, right? You see it, right? You see it, right? Now, it's on us, guys. And that's why you're seeing all this fucking fog everywhere and atmospheric rivers and... Listen, guys. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. I'm telling you, it's Nibiru. It's not a planet, it's a ship. Alright? Straight facts. Y'all better listen, if you if you ain't never had a threesome, you worried about doing it, go fucking do it. You always wanted women to whatever, to live out your heart's desires that you've never done. Stop thinking this contemporary shit is. You better tell your husband, no, listen, fuck you. I want to get eaten out while you're drilling me. Whatever your shit is, I'm trying to fucking put you on. This shit is no joke. What this is, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. Everything gonna be good. We got an election coming up, 2024. Bull cycles, woo! Man, y'all better fucking go do you. You better go. You wanna go get high? Go get high. Me, I'm not gonna do that because I live different. But
Yo, I just got slightly disconnected for a second. That was crazy. Sometimes I do too much shit and my laptop is like my laptop doesn't even know what I'm doing. So yo, did you see what that was, man? Homeboy thinks that was a homeboy thinks that was
Studio
a
Vibes.
planet.
I just saw your ghost.
Kanye West also came out. Kanye West also came out and said his mom was sacrificed. Now his mom lost her life when she had liposuction, but he came out and said she was sacrificed.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is, bro, is like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh shit, my bad.
all I can say is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm married to Donda West. So, if I'm married to Donda West, then how can she be dead? Did that answer your question?
You know, I didn't
Illiterate.
know that I was gonna be sitting
model.
talking to a bunch of illiterate people who don't know how to read. But
You're literally 15. What do you know?
Bro, you know how to read.
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
Are you serious?
Yes, 100%. Name 10 books.
Well, I read Game of Thrones. I'm obsessed with like the Twilight
book
series.
called?
Game of Thrones, the
Don't
series.
What's the book called? It's not called Game of Thrones.
What book did you just say before that?
Breaking, the U.S. government has set up outposts near the UC Medical Center where Damar Hamlin is currently in critical condition. This is reportedly due to issues that may arise following Damar's possible passing. What business... Breaking, the U.S. government has set up outposts near the UC Medical Center where Damar Hamlin is currently in critical condition.
Okay, I need to show you guys this. Damar Hamlin ambulance. Yo, y'all know who Damar Hamlin is, right? Watch this.
So I woke up this morning and I see this article from Fox News about the Damar Hamlin situation. And I see they say scary similarity.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yo, I notice. Hold on. It'll be worth it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you, explain this
Yo, I
to
know
me.
everybody's been talking about the football game and the player that collapsed, but some of us saw a few things that didn't add up. This is the company with the contract for ambulances at that field. As you can see, it's UC Health, and that's what they do. But when you look at them side by side, something ain't adding up here with these two. And one of the main things in an age of marketing and branding, why are there no words on this ambulance? And where are the real lights? Looks like a U-Haul fan that's been converted into something. And when you run the plates
Watch this
on
part.
the van, why does this Chevrolet Express pop up? You know, starting to remind me of a couple other ambulances and things that didn't add up. And just to support that claim, as this EMS responder chimes in and says that Kettering Health took that over, but that's not the ambulance that pulled onto the field. Interesting. And who is this
Look
guy
at
that's
this.
driving this thing? I mean, I don't know. Just looks a little suspicious. So yeah, what's really going on here?
Let me start this off by saying I'm not anti or pro-vax. I'm pro-choice. With that being said, the issue at hand is information is being withheld from players in order for a player to be swayed in a direction he may not be comfortable with. When dealing with a player's health and safety, there should be complete transparency regarding information that is vital in the decision-making process. Without having all the proper information, a player can feel misguided and
You will be my girl, my girl, my girl, my girl.
Man, it's a little overwhelming. Look, check this out, yo. That was a crazy ambulance that showed up to pick up that dude. Ah, man, there's a lot to it. Look, I'm going to encourage you guys to just remember this. Um, they are lying to you about everything. Look, I got no reason to lie to you guys. You know what the fuck I do with my time. You know what I'm saying? I try to give blankets to cold people, and I try to put food in the bellies of people that don't have food. I try to rescue animals that were unfortunate enough to be born on the same planet as humans. Right? I work hard. I study. I read. I have critical thinking skills that were instilled in me as a child by the Portland Public School District back when they had money. Um, I have a little voice in my head which helps me discern what I'm reading, what facts I'm seeing, what's really going on in the world, right? And I also have an extensive resume as a hustler, right? Like I've lived a life where my decision making skills and my critical thinking skills and my ability to discern bullshit has kept me out of out of a million jams, right? So when I apply that kind of insight and wisdom that I've gained over nearly 50 years on this planet, um, and I share this information with people, it's because I care about you and your families, right? Like people weren't even ready for the pandemic. People people couldn't even figure out where to get toilet paper. When that happens again, don't expect $200 or $2,000, or don't expect $200. Don't expect anything from the government, right? The people have proven that not only will they serve the government, not only will they believe what they're told by the media, but they will act as agents of the government, right? They will do the government's work for them. They will call and snitch on their neighbors who are having family gatherings with more than 5 people or whatever, right? In the same way the citizens of fucking Nazi Germany will make that call and report that one of their neighbors was harboring fugitives, right? We've proven on a grand scale a level of sociological experimenting that surpasses any experiment ever done before. We failed. We showed that we would lay down. We would show that we are controlled by fear. We let them tell us that natural immunity wasn't real. And we let them tell us that these fucking masks that we knew didn't work, right? You had access to that information, that made some people better than others, and people were fighting in the stores, and people were ostracizing each other, and people were ruining relationships and friendships. But the truth is, we got fucking hustled, man, and we all owe an apology to our dumber friends. I'm kidding. But to the people that we perceived to be intellectually lesser than us, right? We call them our dumber friends. But yo, I really want to find, before I go, I really want to find uh this vaccine video of these people just dying. I don't know if we'll be able to just find it. Um uh Vaccine. Can you guys see it? No, hold on, let me put the screen back up so you guys can see. I'm doing just regular homework. Vaccine, heart attack, vaccinated people dropping like flies. Um, let's watch a couple of these.
My most critical people are the ones that can spell the least, so people are not dropping like flies from the vaccine. However, lots of people are dying from COVID. And I don't even know who Trudeau is, to be honest with you. So, no, I'm not his sister.
Oh my God. Man, I bet that lady's getting so served in the comments. Oh my gosh. Um, oh my gosh. Wow, that lady's dumb. Okay.
Remember the good old days when athletes didn't used to drop down on the field of a heart attack? That was before the vaccine, wasn't it? Now they have all of these athletes fully vaccinated and they just dropping down on the field. I wonder what's causing it. I wonder what's causing it.
Yo, here's real shit. Motherfuckers are dropping like flies. People are fucking just dropping. They're just dying. Let's see what the fuck this guy has to say.
January 12th,
2022. On Saturday, January 8th, 32-year-old Mali international and ex-Panathinaikos player, Othman Coulibaly, collapsed on the field at the Al Gharafa Stadium in the Qatar Stars League. He suffered a heart attack while playing for Al Wakra in the 41st minute of a match versus Al Rayyan. An Al Wakra media officer confirmed that the player is vaccinated, however, he has yet to take the booster. Concerns about the link to the COVID jab continue to rise due to the uptick of football players who have had heart problems in the last 6 months. This daily update was brought to you by Beyond the Pandemic.
You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, kitty kitty, you the wrong, get a cup of drink with a drop cup. Ha! Hey! So you see how the thing goes?
Okay, so as of today, only 44% of Texas's population has been fully vaccinated. And one of those who definitely wasn't vaccinated was Scott Apley, a Texas councilman. And when a doctor on Twitter said great news from Pfizer this morning, their COVID-19 vaccine is efficacious for at least 6 months, good old Scott replied to her and said, "You are an absolute enemy of a free people." And Scott was also a part of the Republican Liberty Caucus of Texas, a group that supports individual liberty and hates all things socialism. But since they took this picture in 2018, Scott Apley here is dead of COVID. So is his...
I knew they were gonna. I knew that's how that was gonna end.
I got my first dose of Pfizer December 17th.
Hi. Hi, sir. I have many questions for you. Okay, so I am about a year and 2 months past my first vaccine. So is my time like up, or am I one of those that gets...
How many more dates are you going to give? Let's ignore that. Let's forget the fact that you said 1 week, 1 month, 6 months.
Wow, look at all these pompous people. Look at all these pompous people that couldn't possibly know. They couldn't possibly know. I wish I hadn't got vaccinated. I did it because well, I did it for 2 reasons. One, because once I got vaccinated, then I couldn't turn back and I wouldn't have to donate any of my time, my brain space to worrying about whether or not I was going to get vaccinated. Because no weapon formed against me shall prosper, but results may vary, right? Because I don't vibrate at the same frequency as people, so I'm a lot less prone to getting sick. But the other reason is my grandma's dead, and that makes me super sad, right? So I don't want nobody else's grandparents to die, and I was led to believe that I could be asymptomatic and be a carrier and get somebody's grandma sick. But now we're discovering all that shit was bullshit. All of it, 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 all of it. And we proved that we were fucking just suckers. I mean, I didn't stay in my house. I took advantage of the opportunities. I went and did shit, right? I seen the Statue of Liberty. I seen the Freedom Tunnel. I seen the Rocky statue. I seen a dude wrestle an alligator. I seen I seen a lot of shit during the pandemic. Um, but the rest of the people, they stayed in their house. They became suicidal. They became antisocial. They became dependent on television. They fractured their personal relationships. They became paranoid. They became dangerous. They became useless. So I know I said before I left that somebody was supposed to remind me to talk about the moon. But nobody reminded me to talk about the moon. But I'm gonna talk about the moon for a second anyways before I go to bed. That shit's fake. That That shit is so fucking fake. We don't know shit about the moon. We keep pretending we know about the moon because we don't know nothing about the moon. That's more projecting. That's more lying. Like, I don't even want to have a conversation, did we land on the moon? Because the evidence that we didn't land on the moon is pretty fucking overwhelming, right? But I'm just gonna just go ahead and say, for argument's sake, that we did land on the moon, because that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, why the fuck is there a moon there? Like, look up in the sky. There's a giant thing just floating. And there's nothing really like it in the rest of the galaxy as far as size comparison. Other moons to other planets. The moon should be a planetoid, but I don't even want to get into that. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why you should suspect that the moon is fake. But if you don't think the moon is fake, if you think that the moon is there by natural causes, then that is the greatest miracle, the most improbable coincidence, the most lucky freaking stroke ever, that the moon is there. Because it shouldn't be there. It just shouldn't. But so today I saw a thing about volcanic dust on the moon. And I was like, wait, what? Volcanic dust? You know where dust comes from? Volcanoes. Then I was like, well, volcanoes come from explosions of hot magma that are in the center of a planet. But the moon doesn't have that. The moon doesn't have that. The moon wasn't formed that way. That's not how the moon, the moon, according to the latest scientific consensus, where sometimes I bring up scientific consensus so that I can argue against it, but sometimes I'll just let them stand with their current model, right? So their current model says that another planet a long time ago collided with Proto Earth, which was the original version of this planet, right? And we're talking 500 billion fucking years ago. And that parts of that, right, our own magma and our own pieces of what would become the crust and the mantle and all the different mineral layers of our planet and the other planet exploded, and over hundreds of millions of years the moon formed due to pressure, right? But these are the same people that told me a long time ago there was no water on the moon, so take that with a grain of lunar salt. If all that stuff was ejected and floated around in the vastness of space, then it would have cooled, and when it coalesced, it would no longer have had like a heated center, right? Unless there was pressure on it, right? Um, yes, sir, BMD. I agree with you. Um, I mean, I agree that it's a possibility. That I don't know. I couldn't possibly know, but so if all that stuff coalesced and then became this compressed planetoid, then when you Google why doesn't the moon have an atmosphere, they'll say that the moon doesn't have enough gravity to hold an atmosphere, right? But it has enough gravity to create a volcanic eruption that happened as recently as a couple 100 million years ago. I mean, that's still a long time ago. That's during the supposed age of the dinosaurs. But that doesn't really jive. And then when you go reading into these stories, they don't fucking know. They don't know. They really can't fucking prove that a long time ago, an alien species didn't put the moon there as a way to terraform this planet to make it habitable, right? They can't prove that the comet that they say destroyed the dinosaurs wasn't actually like redirected or purposeful from some extraterrestrial or extra dimensional or futuristic time traveling species, right? But one thing is pretty certain when you look at the preponderance of the evidence in its totality. I think that what is certain is that we are not being told everything, right? These lies, whether it's lies about the rebranding of the Nazis and the Fourth Reich in Ukraine, or whether we're not being told the truth about climate change, or whether we're not being told the truth about COVID, those are all tiny when we're talking about who built the fucking pyramids, who built the Temple of the Sun and the Moon in Mexico, who built the stuff at Pumapunka, and how is LIDAR showing that there's a history of this planet that is just overwhelmingly contradictory to the narrative that we've been fed. And Christopher Columbus, what's funny is Christopher Columbus has been discredited so many times that it gives him credit to me. Now I'm like, And then when you in fact, learning about like the invasion of the Americas by the Spanish, that narrative isn't necessarily the truth. And then when you look into maybe other accepted histories, like the original populations of the Bayou and the Floridas and the Caribbean, right? That we're told that it was Native Americans, not blacks. But what if you were to believe that maybe blacks were here the whole time? Maybe the transatlantic slave trade is fucking maybe being manipulated. All I'm saying is there is a better chance that if the government or the media tells you the grass is green, that the grass is any color but fucking green. Look, we've already established these people are elite pedophiles and devil worshippers and traffickers and fornicators and heathens, and we've seen the evidence from Alex Jones at Bohemian Grove, and we've seen Jeffrey Epstein's flight log releases, which have Beyonce on it and Jay-Z on it, even fucking Jim Carrey on it. And you realize, man, it's really us against them. But then the question, who's really us? Because most of us is working for them, right? Most of us is working for them, so then that makes them them. I don't know. All I know is motherfuckers was snitching on their family members because the media got them so hyped up on COVID. All I know is that the history of literature and art on this planet and in our societies is full of dragons. Yeah, we're supposed to believe that 160 million years ago there was dragons, and that a T-Rex lived 65 million years ago to maybe like 85 million years ago, and that there was evolution within dinosaurs, and that somehow mammals rose under the shadows of that, and that the bricks at places like Saskatchewan and other unbelievable architectures that couldn't possibly have been done by this version of us. And then check it out. The last thing I'm gonna leave you on, the last food for thought tonight, is the biodiversity contained within a sampling of ocean water, right? where an octopus, a shark, a whale, a jellyfish, a crab, a sea anemone, how the fuck do we achieve that much? An octopus, a cuttlefish. How do we achieve that much biodiversity when all of those creatures are born into almost the exact same matching environment, right? I don't know if it's aliens. I don't know if it's reptiles. I don't know if it's demons. I don't know if it's a super smart computer, quantum AI level shit, but that's what I'm leaning to. I'm leaning to the fact that somewhere I'm hooked up to diodes in the most realistic version of a virtual reality game that you could ever imagine, where a lot of these things don't have to make sense because nobody was ever supposed to ask those questions, right? When you saw the total solar eclipse, you were just supposed to say, "Ooh, that's nice." You weren't supposed to say, "That's fucking impossible," right? I mean, they let us believe that UFOs were fake for what was Roswell in the 40s? But then don't forget, the Catholics killed the Cathars for believing in dualism, which is the belief that the God of the Bible is really the devil, right? Because I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I believe in all of it. All of it. I believe in fucking robots that are looking for hearts. I believe in mini hoonies. I believe in dwarfs. I believe in Homo florensis in Indonesia. I believe in the hobbitses. I believe in genetic engineering and creating of multiple races, customized with microevolution, but with the DNA of some greater creature, right? And deep down in my heart, I believe that someday I'll reunite with my brothers and sisters from the stars in a place where you don't get sick, where nobody lies, where you wear your heart on your sleeve, where being kind and thoughtful is second nature, where where nobody has lesser than, where everybody's just able to pursue whatever version of happiness they want at a whim, where we're more than psychic, where we're telecreators, where everybody's version of it is like Flashtown, where you pull a rock out of a hole, but that rock has somewhere it needs to go, where everything's just fucking magical. Um, I could have done more prep today. I'm sorry. This show always sneaks up on me. You know, like the Friday show, Coffee and Bongheads, that's different because I wake up and I'm just solely focused on doing that show, so it never sneaks up on me, right? I'm always hours ahead of schedule. That's why there's always on the other show, there's always lots of graphics and signs and videos and commercials and information because I'm up, I'm doing it. This show's different. This show sneaks up on me because I'm living a life, and then it's like, oh, all right. But I'm doing my best. It'll get better. It's a work in progress. Um, Look, if you have shit that you like want to go into more in depth, the problem is I don't have a structure on this. I just show up and start talking. Fuck, I could babble on for hours about Babylon. Original man when he landed on this rock, set up shop because this planet's atmosphere was shot. She was getting hot. According to the ancient text, they had to find the gold, mine the gold, ship it back to planet X. After a while, the scientists got tired of this. They decided to use their wits and get it fixed. It was agreed they needed to engineer a slave. How smart should he be? Not as smart as you or me, but he should be stronger so he could work longer. And all these qualities were on a list for the doctor. They said, make us a monster. But instead, he made man in the image of the visitor, mixed with just a pinch of indigenous Australopithecus. Delicious. The dominant hominid wasn't that intelligent, copied the muscular structure and then reinforced the skeleton. Modern humans exist because of this ancient geneticists, a biological twist. The biological cocktail, male and female, broke the gene code and cloned Eve from a rib bone. Yo, if I ever told you I love you, I still love you. If I never told you I love you, I probably love you. Yo, I'm on it. Oh yeah, okay. BMD, thank you for hanging out tonight, man. I hope you come back next week. I appreciated your feedback. Everybody that hung out with us tonight. Joe, I see you. Shout out to Lil Joe, Mal, the fam, the whole coast. Misty, I see you. Erica, Ashley, Oliver was in here. I seen you. Clarence, Leah. Oh man, I hope I didn't miss nobody. If you watch this later, or if this ends up in an audio version of the podcast, thank you for listening. Just remember, yo, the only shit you can trust is your fucking goddamn self. And even then, you can't really trust yourself. Do a lot of acid, do a lot of mushrooms, put yourself in a position to really put yourself in a position to test your metal, right? Go out there, see how long you can spend the night in the woods by yourself, maybe. You'd be surprised what you learn when you get. Oh, so sorry. You'd be surprised what you learn when you unplug from the Matrix. And the further away you get, the less sense it makes. Believe it or not, there's people that still watch sports and television. All right, talk to the hand, Jerry. 5,000 G.